Alright, so I'm sure you guys have seen videos all over the place about, oh, these are the best Dragon Souls, or these are the best souls. You should use this soul because it's the best. Yada yada. Stuff the same idea. I'm going to be doing something similar, but a little different. So I'm not going to be telling you guys the best souls for pretty much every use. I'm going to be telling you ones that are just generally useful for different scenarios that I wouldn't say are the absolute best souls because it's fairly obvious which ones those are. The top the Zenkai souls. But I'll be talking about the ones that I think are at least good for even for just specific scenarios, just general overall useful souls. So we start that off today. It's going to be fairly simple and short. I'm not going to be charging and whatnot because it's going to take forever. But where did I get this? Anyway, so general useful souls. We'll start from the ground up. No, I'm gonna be honest. None of the common souls are really that useful. Like in any sort of regard. Like I don't see these things being useful, kind of at all. In any form of thing. The Endurance Soul is basically just a soul version of Kaioken, which isn't really that great, to be honest. Maybe there could be use for it, but I wouldn't really consider it any useful. Put it simple, rare and uncommon souls, I don't really think any of them are useful. That's just how it is. There's more clutter to make it harder to get the good ones more than anything, really. That's kind of about it. The good and useful souls start popping up once you enter Epic and above. Those are when you start running into useful ones. So, in terms of epic souls, the generally useful ones on here, I would only really say it would be Dual Soul, because it's just a really large beam, especially with all the different ways of increasing your power. This is a generally really good, useful soul for general purpose use, I suppose. Conqueror Soul, it's aight. Nobody really uses it, probably because it's not really that great. Vampiric Soul is not bad, only if you use it with Kaioken 100 because of the amount of health drain it does. So you can use this if you really like Kaioken 100 and you don't want to use your soul for kind of really anything else. You can pretty much use Vampiric Soul because it comes back really quick and it'll help you keep you alive while you're in Kaioken 100 ever since they patched the bug, which is a good thing. I still think it's a good thing, even if it is kind of sad. It's still a good thing. So ever since they patched the bug with the Kaioken 100, this is a good soul to use to kind of help with that. If you really like Kaioken 100 and you have the Kaioken 100 clothing, so you have like the let's see if I can find it in like half a second. If you have let's see, I can't find it in 2 seconds, so I don't want to waste time looking for it. But if you have this set, plus Vampiric Soul, you could probably maintain Kaioken 100 a lot easier. So, yay. That's probably the main use for Vampiric. This soul. Do you use long story short, do you use Kaioken 100? Do you like Kaioken 100? Vampiric Soul lets you keep it up longer. Yay. Prideful Soul is not bad because it's kind of like a baby version of what Kefla does. If anything, it's almost exactly like what she does. Actually, no, this is exactly what she does, isn't she? But yeah, this is basically Kefla's move where you shoot a big ball and you absorb a bunch of enemies and do it. It's pretty useful for like crowd control missions where you're trying to deal with a lot of enemies and you want to just get rid of a whole bunch of enemies. Prideful Soul is actually really good for that. So I'd say use it in like maybe while you're leveling or doing like story missions, or while you're doing the Saving Walker raid. There's a lot of like horde enemies in there. You could probably use it there too. Same with Dual Soul, but I'd say Dual Soul is better for like bosses, while Prideful Soul is probably better for the hordes, since it actually pulls enemies in. So use Dual Soul if you don't have anything better for bosses, and Prideful Soul for yeah. Now into legendaries. Despair, sort of Hope Souls is not bad. They're not that great. I mean, they basically give you a little bit of a stat buff, but not really too amazing. The main thing that is very useful with the Sword of Hope soul, and why it's useful, is it's generally useful for its like 8 action skill, which is like the big sword slash. That's a really good main thing about this soul. Outside of that, it's not too amazing. It's helpful. It deals with block, but yeah. For general purpose, legendary souls, confident soul is really good. It is very useful. Could be used in raids, could be used in leveling, could be used in just existing because you want cool, high, fancy power. You want your funny power number to go up, so you use this. That's a generally useful soul for pretty much everything. Life soul, I would say it's only really useful for its alternate, which is a stat boost, and even then it used to last until you died, but now it doesn't do that. It lasts for like a couple seconds, so I mean, in terms of usefulness, life soul is definitely at the bottom. An exiled soul used to actually be the worst, but with the Kaioken 100 update, the usefulness of this soul has actually skyrocketed heavily because it's a very fast charging soul that when you use Kaioken 100 with, it does a crap ton of damage to the point where like you can pop this multiple times almost like in big boss fights, and this thing will come back really quick. And it does so much damage, especially when you max it with Kaioken 100. That it's never a bad thing to use this if you want like a big single target boss nuke that comes back really quick. So that's generally it's what I think it's useful for. It's a super good weapon, soul in terms of that. You use it and you'll basically just nuke a boss, and it's really helpful. For the Zenkai souls, I only have 2 of them because obvious. Savior. They're all useful. There's not much to really talk about. They're all useful. They're all really good for boss raids. They're all really good for leveling. They're all really good for just general use. They're all really good. There's not a single savior. There's not a single Zenkai soul that's not useful. That's just it. They're all useful. Savior is really good. Beast is really good. God of Destruction is really good. I used to have some, but I traded it for I traded it a while ago for SD5s. They're all really useful. So that's fairly it. In terms of what I think would be the most useful ones for specific categories, for general use, the most useful one for general use would be any of the Zenkais, obviously. For a cheaper general use, so like if you don't have a Zenkai soul, the cheapest best soul for general use would probably be Confident. Same for add clear. I would say the best would be Prideful Soul. Sure, Exiled Soul does the same, but with the whole pull on enemies and damage and everything. But Prideful, if you just purely want add clear, Prideful Soul is probably better because it'll come back quicker. Yeah. General use for single target boss damage, definitely. Again, these are best for single target boss damage. Would probably be the Beast Soul with the Roar, Bestial Roar it has, which is a really good add clear or just AoE move. But for single target boss damage, it's also really good. Probably after that, maybe God of Destruction, maybe, I don't know. But definitely Exiled Soul with Kaioken 100 is definitely up there. I'd say it's probably my second favorite actually now for just single target boss deeps. So using Exiled with Kaioken 100, probably second best useful soul for just boss damage. And then third to it would be Dual Soul. And then for raids, I would say any of the Zenkais would be best. Then after that, probably Confident or Exiled for the best bosses. And then probably the last thing I could say would be for use for how easy it is to charge. Easiest ones to charge for how useful it would either be Confident or Exiled because they're not that bad. Well, sure, Zenkai Souls are better, but they take like 30 years to charge. Especially, I mean, sure, somebody could buy the event, then makes it cheaper and easier to charge, but you can't bank on that. But that's basically the majority of it. So, that's kind of how I say for general use, useful souls for each individual thing you would want to use them for in the game, and yada yada. If you get God, cool, you're basically good. You can do whatever the fuck you want now. Beast's kind of the same thing. You can do whatever the heck you want with it. You're pretty much it's kind of the same with any of the Zenkai souls. If you get any of these, they'll pretty much carry you. But obviously, Beast is better than Savior, and God is better for general use than Beast. So Beast is better with Bestial Roar, but that move has like a 40-second cooldown or something crazy. So for those like 40 seconds, God's better. But that's basically it for general use. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. I'll try to, as for right now, there's no new souls out right now, so in the future, new souls will probably come out. Who knows, maybe a year or whatever from now. I'll probably be having to update this video, but for now, these are the most useful souls. So if you ever get your hands on any of these and you want a specific soul for a specific purpose, hopefully this will help you out. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you need it. If you have any questions or comments, I'll kind of respond to everything because I'm still new enough where I can respond to everybody. But if this video helped you out and you want to keep following me for any more random stuff I might do, either Dragon Soul related or not Dragon Soul related, depending on whatever I feel like doing, because I struggle to figure out stuff to do because I'm stupid. But that's relevant. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, if you feel like you want to stick around for whatever reason. But that'll be it. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.